The Catholic Morning Show.
Deacon Mark Campbell back with you here as we make our way through this Thursday here on the Catholic Morning Show. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be listening this morning. Had a great time last night with Joe Stacy as we brought Dowling Catholic High School baseball to much of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. The next broadcast of Dowling Catholic High School sports will be on June 8th. So you can tune in then. But right now, we want to turn to our first guests here of the day, welcoming in Marsha Fisher and Patty Origer, and they're going to be talking to us about a job fair that's coming up. Of course, many people are graduating, and there's a lot of people right now looking for work and looking for ways that they can use their time and their talents that God has given them to be of service of others. And we're going to have a conversation coming up next week with Patrick Novakoski, who joined us yesterday, and he speaks just to this idea of the dignity of human work. And one of the needs that is out there is to serve those with a disability. Good morning, Patty and Marsha. Thanks for joining us here this morning.
Good morning, Mark.
You said it's a little early, Marsha, but you're here and ready to go. So, this idea of a job fair, creating, opportunities for people, not only those who are in need, but for people who may be looking for a way to use their talent. Why is this particular way of connecting people important to you?
Well, I think that we have to remember that our job as Christians is to look to the sideliners, the people who are on the periphery. And people with disabilities often are people that the rest of us don't notice. It's not because of maliciousness. It's just because of lack of understanding. So we are looking at having a job fair in Adel at the public library on June 4th, and it's from 5 to 6:30. This is to attract anyone to come and think about talking to the agencies that are represented about how they could help volunteer, but really get a part-time job or a full-time job using their talents to relate to people, to have a relationship. And I think Patty had some specifics about that. We have about 8 agencies coming. I don't know if you'd like the list of them. I can give you a short
Go
list.
ahead and share some of them. That'd be great.
Yeah. It's Progressive Community Network Incorporated, which it has host only family homes. And Patty, again, can talk more about that. Home Care, Iowa Home Care, the Happier at Home, which is based right in Adel. So we tried to get a lot of different agencies. There's about, Imagine the Possibilities from Winterset, Mosaic, which is a bigger agency, Easter Seals, and Respite Connection. Those are some of the ones that'll be there, as well as HERDA. And so we are looking at a lot of different varieties of agencies that can talk to people about how they could be working with people with disabilities of a variety of range of disability and different types.
Well, I'm familiar with some of those. So this is going to be some great exposure to, again, some of those organizations that provide this type of service. And many people have different needs. Patty, I'm going to turn it over to you, and let's kind of talk about the variety of needs that exists in this sphere of serving those with disabilities. Some need very acute, intentional care. Some just need a little bit of help. But there's a wide spectrum here. Talk about, and you've got great familiarity with this. You work with the diocese and in this, working in this area. Talk a little bit about the variety of needs.
Yes. Sometimes persons with disabilities, people think about they are people that have the high physical needs, a lot of need of hands-on care, but there's a variety of types of different disabilities. They could be people with attention deficit disorder, with autism. Some people just need a little bit of social opportunity. They may need a little extra supervision. They need the opportunities to get out and about, practice their skills, learning to go to the library and going to the movies and having social opportunities. They just need chances to build relationships. And so it doesn't always have to be that physical hands-on care, but it can just be being a friend and being a support person, and having that relationship is the most important.
Well, and talk about how your own personal experiences kind of helped you sort of formulate this idea of creating opportunity, making connections. Because I personally know people that are right in that camp, those that need that 24/7 care, as well as those who just need a little part-time help.
Right. Yeah. I have a lot of families that come to me and say, we really need help and support in raising our children or caring for our children that are adults with disabilities. And it takes a lot as parents raising a children that don't have disabilities. So it takes twice as much effort for raising a child with disability. And we as a church teach about that dignity of the human person. So we need to continue to support and care for those families. And we know our diocesan priority is welcome and care. And we need to do maybe a little better job about working on the care, because that takes a little bit more effort. So I was trying to think and pray about how we should do to help these families. And that's where the idea of the job fair came about, because I think it's because people don't understand that there is this need and realize that there's just that variety of level of care. You can be a volunteer. You can work one night a week. You can work once a month. You can get a full-time career job change. There's a variety of opportunities to help people. Some of the one that's a newer model is what's Marsha mentioned, the host home model. The host home model is based on the foster care model. So you as a person can run the business in your home, and you get the benefits of having a home business, and you are caring for a person one-on-one. They're in your care 24 hours, 7 days a week, unless they're with their family. And I've had people that are stay-at-home moms do this. I know of a gentleman that retired, and he loved to fish. So when he retired, he became a host home provider, and he was matched up. They match you up very carefully to somebody with similar interests with a guy that likes to fish.
Oh, that's
so
perfect.
He said, I used to go get paid to go fishing.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and Marsha, talk a little bit then about, people who may have concerns about, this is something I would love to do, but maybe I don't feel called or equipped, or maybe they feel called but not equipped. Talk about the variety of people who could apply for some of these opportunities.
Well, I think most of the agencies that we have invited to this job fair are very good about training the people once they apply to be well trained to work with whatever level the person might need. My own son, Robert, lives with us. He's 48 years old. He does have a lot of physical needs, but he's a lot of fun. And he also makes connections with people. He actually works 2 days a week at the Waukee Hy-Vee. But the people that need to come in to help us, because I'm getting older, my husband's getting older, are coming in like maybe 2 hours in the morning to help with his personal care needs. He has a motorized wheelchair. He has, equipment to help him go to the bathroom, get to the bathroom, and so on. And those people are very well trained, and they feel very comfortable. In fact, one of them is not really supposed to be his caregiver. She's supposed to be a trainer, and she's decided she wants to come and be with Rob for 5 days a week. So it is a personality match, like Patty mentioned. I think people are really going to get a lot back from what they do, even more than they give. And to be able to be a part-time worker, like could be an hour, could be 3 hours, and for respite, for the parents, as she said. And we also want to think about high school students that are 16 or older, or college students who haven't quite nailed down a job this summer. They would be able to have a really good chance to get into an opportunity. And maybe this is a field I'd want to really have my career in.
Well, you really, I think you might have piqued the interest of a lot of people as they're looking for, students may be looking for ways how they're going to spend their summer. And this might be an opportunity. So let's make sure people know about the job fair itself. It's Thursday, June 4th, and it's at the Adel Public Library in their community room. That's at 303 South 10th Street in Adel, and it's from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on June 4th at the Adel Public Library. So we want to make sure people know about this event. We've got just a couple minutes left with the two of you. Maybe, Patty, if you can, in 90 seconds or so, if you can, why is this so important to you?
Well, it's important because we need to help these families, and building relationships with people with disabilities is important. I'm just going to share one little story. At St. John's Church in Adel, who is sponsoring this fair, we have a gift tag program at Christmas, and we decided to give gifts to group homes along with families that had children. And the first year, the group home said they received their gift, and the man in this group home, there were several of them that were in their 60s and 70s, and their families were long gone, and they had not received Christmas gifts for many years. And the young man, or the man, received the Christmas gift, and he said, "You mean somebody who doesn't even know me loves me enough to give me a gift?" And fortunately, that January, his health took a turn for the worse, and he ended up passing away. But on his deathbed, he said, "I just had the best Christmas ever."
Oh, wow.
That was just receiving a gift. Think about if you built a relationship, if you were a volunteer or an employee, how you could make a difference in someone's life.
Oh, that's tremendous. And Marsha, for you, what has tugged on your heart to get so involved in helping create this job fair?
Well, I think of the personal, experiences I've had with Rob. One thing is the relationships and the continuity of them. Once you get to know someone, I mean, we all know that people are people first. Whether you have a disability or a mental disability, you have your heart is with God, and God is giving you the grace to be here. So we know that there's connections we can make at any level. Mm-hmm. And I think in Rob's case, he's had such good connections with people.
And based on that experience, you want others to experience the same thing. So, folks, I'm going to just encourage you to pray about it. Attend the job fair. Maybe you're not even looking for work. Maybe, whether you're looking for work or you think this is something that you are called to do, go and explore. Just showing up doesn't mean you're going to wind up in this particular field of service. But attend June 4th from 5 to 6:30 at the Adel Public Library. I don't think you, at the very least, what you're going to learn about is some great organizations who are providing a tremendous need to our community. And if you're somebody outside the Des Moines area, maybe you'll be inspired to bring something like this to your area. Ladies, thank you very much for taking time and joining us here this morning on the Catholic Morning Show.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a wonderful time.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.